I am offering a substitute to Senate Bill 474. To begin, I will be very upfront. I did not support Proposal 3, and I wish it were not in place. That being said, the legislation Democrats are proposing today goes well beyond codifying Proposal 3, and it goes beyond what many Michigan voters believed they were voting for before it was approved. This legislation goes far, far beyond what was in place under Roe v. Wade. The legislation Democrats are proposing today allows for abortion at any time, for any reason, with no limitations, right up until the second before a baby leaves the womb. But that is not what Proposal 3 mandates, and that is at the heart of this substitute I offer now. As Proposal 3 clearly permits, this substitute would maintain common sense protections needed for patient safety and informed consent about the procedures they are contemplating. And it would allow the legislature to continue regulating abortion in cases after the baby has reached fetal viability, meaning he or she can survive outside the womb, except in cases where an abortion is needed to protect the mother. Let's start with the safety provisions. This substitute would maintain the regulations and licensing requirements in our state has had in place to make sure abortion clinics are clean and safe for women who go there. The proposal from Democrats would eliminate these safeguards for freestanding surgical outpatient facilities. Regardless of how you feel about abortion, if it is going to be legal, these provisions should be kept in place to protect the health and safety of women. These rules aren't stopping anyone from having an abortion, they're simply making sure it is done safely. The substitute requires that an abortion would have to be performed by a qualified physician. Again, this is just common sense. Additionally, pharmacists and farm techs who object to facilitating abortions would not be forced to do so. Nobody should be required to participate in an abortion if it violates their deeply held beliefs. If someone is going to have a serious medical procedure, they need to know what the procedure entails beforehand. In the case of an abortion, it does not restrict access to make sure the woman is informed about the procedure and has a day to think about that decision before proceeding. This is a decision that will impact the rest of one's life and merits careful deliberation. Of course, this waiting period does not apply in the case of an urgent medical emergency. We also must maintain our existing provisions designed to protect women against being coerced or forced into having an abortion against their wishes. The Democrat legislation strips away coercion screening, and the only people that protects are the ones who may be doing the threatening and coercing and the abortion industry. This substitute also would maintain the requirements that abortion clinics report how many abortions they perform each year in this state. The Democrats' bill eliminates these reporting requirements, and it is a first step toward eliminating the documentation that shows abortions have increased every year in Michigan for the past 6 years. There are more than 30,000 induced abortions in Michigan each year now, and whether or not you want to acknowledge it, it's a fact, and it should be reported like many other statistics that are reported to the state's health department. It does not fit the false narrative that abortion access is unduly restricted, because it isn't unduly restricted. That is evident by the fact that more and more women are coming to Michigan from out of state to have abortions here. Proposal 3, and now our Constitution says that the state may regulate the provision of abortion care after fetal viability with some exceptions. This substitute would prohibit abortion after fetal viability unless, as the Constitution says, it is medically indicated to protect the life or physical or mental health of the mother. Cases of abortion that do occur after fetal viability should be reported. It is important to document the determination used to proceed with a late-term abortion. This substitute would require that reporting. Nothing in this substitute proposes can be labeled as extreme. Many Michigan voters who supported Proposal 3 were not calling for abortion at any time, for any reason, with no limitations. This substitute places reasonable limits on late-term abortions while allowing for exemptions laid out in the Constitution. Thank you, Mr. President.